pumasok na. So we'll review the anatomy of the consciousness system and discuss somehow its pathophysiology of coma, and then know the impact of coma in the community, differentiate the different causes, and other health problems that may affect your consciousness system, and the emergent management ancillary procedures for better outcome of coma. Okay, next slide. So we'll review the definitions. When we say normal consciousness, that is the condition of awareness of all the environment and ourselves. And we are responsive fully to our thought or perception. There is attention and interaction with the immediate surroundings and environment. While when you say a patient that is confused, there is inability to think with customary speed, clarity, and coherence. And there is some marked degree of inattentiveness and disorientation. And usually, this means in global involvement of your brain. Okay, next slide. When we say drowsy or stuporous person, there is reduced mental, speech, and physical activities. Now, drowsiness means the patient easily falls asleep if there are no stimulation and readily wakes up on normal verbal stimulation or loud sound. While a stuporous person needs stronger stimuli like pain to awaken them. Awake, when they awoke, usually patient. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Now, sleep and coma may have some similarities, okay? Both patient in coma or asleep ay nawala. Bakit nawala na naman? They are not aware of what is happening around them. Kaya na, nawala na naman. Ano nangyari?
Dok, hindi po na.
Oh, wala. Dulo ko talaga itong aking laptop pa. Okay. Both in sleep and coma, no. The difference in sleep, there is continuous cerebral activity, unlike in coma. Okay, and usually, while asleep, you may dream and you may recall these dreams. Okay, and in normal sleep, usually there is use of oxygen. Okay, and a sleeping person can easily be waken up to normal consciousness. Okay, so that's the difference between sleep and coma. In previous slide. Okay, the similarities, okay, so they are unconscious, so their surrounding, okay, and the eyes in both sleep and coma may move, okay, on their own. Both eyelids are, in both conditions, are closed, and of course, there is cessation of blinking. And in both sleep and a comatose patient, sometimes there may be yawning, okay, decrease in and vision may become irregular, and there is decrease in muscle tone, decrease in the tendon reflexes. Mild confusion on waking up, initially in a sleeping person. Okay, next slide. 2 slides forward. Now, usually, comatose patient, if this will persist, may go into a vegetative state. So, vegetative state is there is seemingly they are awakening, but still they are unconscious. Okay, their eyes may open. Okay, to pain spontaneously. There may be some fixation of the eyes or from following. Sometimes they will start blinking. There may be automatism like swallowing, bruxism, grimacing. That's grinding of teeth, bruxism. There may be some moaning. Okay, but still they are unresponsive and unconscious most of the time. Their movements are not, and most of the natural and reflect. EEG in a comatose patient, usually this will show slowness of the rhythm and decrease in its amplitude. So most of the time, this will be delta waves. But sometimes you may see this alpha coma pattern. So uh, faster rate, alpha rhythms are usually 8 to 12 hertz, so cycles per second, while delta is less than 3 hertz. Also in sleep, it may show spindles, okay? But again, in comatose patient, even with stimulation, there will be no changes in the EEG. While, of course, in a sleeping person, they may wake up with stimulation. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Now, if the condition of coma persists for more than 3 months, okay, then you call it persistent vegetative state if the condition is non-traumatic. The underlying condition is non-traumatic. But you only label them as persistent vegetative state, PVS, if it is due to trauma. Okay? Because there are patients, post-traumatic or traumatic brain injury, that may wake up before, after 3 months. So usually, if it is PVS, there is already widespread necrosis of the cortical neurons, and usually we see this in global ischemic infarction of the brain. Okay, after a cardiac arrest. Okay, or a closed head injury. Also, you may develop persistent vegetative state in involvement of your thalamus and subthalamic areas. And sometimes you will see decreased blood flow all throughout the brain and decreased metabolism as evidenced by a PET scan. And of course, if you see already brain atrophy, and that may mean irreversible changes of the brain. Next slide. Now, another coma sequela is what we call minimally conscious state. Okay. In these patients, they seemingly wake up after their coma. Okay. They can utter some words. Okay. They may be following simple commands. Okay. They may have some gesturing. But the pathology is the same as PVC, but some recovery may occur in the parietal lobes. Okay. So they do not recover from to improve their mentation. Okay. Next slide. Now, when we say locked-in syndrome, okay, or the deafferented syndrome, usually these are lesions affecting your ventral pons or your basis pontis, so that your corticobulbar and corticospinal tracts are affected by these lesions in the ventral pons, so that they do not move. Okay, they cannot move their extremities, so as if they are in coma, but actually they are not. Okay, their brain may be functioning normally, so that they are aware of what is happening around them. They are nation. Okay, and usually okay. Remember your oculomotor are located in your uh, midbrain. So they may be spared so that they can blink, okay, voluntarily. So that's how they may be able to communicate. While akinetic mutism is a condition where there is a loss of the desire to converse, to talk, okay, loss of the desire to move. Okay, so that you call it akinetic, without movement, and mutism, loss of the desire to talk. Okay, so there is abulia. And usually the lesions here are affecting both frontal areas. Okay. Now, there is also this catatonia or catalepsy. They look just like akinetic mute. Okay. They don't move. Okay. They don't talk. But when you do a EEG, it's normal. Okay. So this is more of a psychiatric problem. So there is no anatomic lesion in your brain. Next slide. Now, finally, we declare brain death, okay, when there is absence of all cerebral function, and there is absence also of brainstem function, and we say brain death if the underlying condition is irreversible. Okay, so that's the conditions that be fulfilled before you say the patient is brain dead. Oo, nawala na naman. Bayan, bayan, bayan. Wala na naman. Ay, nako, ano ba yan? Pawala-wala. Okay. Bakit ganun? Pas na lang. Ha? Paano ba yan? Okay, so the pathologic anatomy of coma usually is due to structural lesions of the upper brainstem or lower diencephalon. Or it may affect both hemispheres. So what we mean here is that even if you have hemispherectomy, you remove half of the hemisphere. That means the brain, okay? You found coma. Okay, so what we mean here is that there will be changes in sensorium, okay, depression of sensorium, if you have bilateral lesions affecting your hemispheres. Okay? Otherwise, If it's only one side, then the patient should be awake. Okay? So, primarily lesions that will affect your midbrain or your thalamus. Nawala na naman. Oh, what's happening? Hmm? So, when we say primary lesions, that is directly affecting your brainstem. Okay? So, you see this in strokes, okay, in tumors. Oh, wala na naman. Ay, hmm, ano ba yan? Bakit wala? Ah, cannot see your slides again. Ah, bakit pa wala? Oh, wala na naman. All right. So primary lesions are directly affecting your midbrain or the thalamic area, while secondary lesions is what we mean by hemispherical lesions, like a mass or a stroke, a tumor, an abscess, but producing brainstem because of brainstem manifestation or brainstem involvement because of compression of the reticular activating system. Okay, so because of increasing intracranial pressure, then it may press on your reticular activating system. Ay, naku po. Nawala na naman. Now, a comatose patient may also be produced by a widespread cortical and white matter damage of both hemispheres. Okay, so it should be bilateral involvement of your hemispheres, like in encephalitis, meningitis. Okay, in ischemic encephalopathies, anoxic encephalopathies after a cardiac arrest, like that, or drowning. Okay. Next slide. Oh, I see it again. Good. Oh, wala. I think it's the, baka naman gawa ng, oh yan, wala naman. Mahina yung aking internet. Ano ba yan? So these are example of metabolic problems that may affect diffusely your brain, your hemispheres. Wala naman. So ischemic hypoxia, hypercapnia, all right, hypo or hyperglycemia. Oh, I know. Wala. Hepatic failure, renal failure. Oh, wala naman. So, any toxic metabolic problems, okay, that can affect your diffusely your brain will produce a comatose patient. Next slide. So these are T2 weighted MRI. Okay. Mm, uh, patient. whether increase in pressure will herniation of the brain through your foramen magnum now and pressing now on your respiratory centers. And of course, the foraminal through your foramen magnum, and that could be pressing now on your respiratory centers. Okay. Next slide. Now, in assessing comatose patient, we use this Glasgow Coma Scale. Okay. So this is based on eye signs, verbal output, and the motor criteria. Next slide. So usually the GCS is used for assessing impaired consciousness, especially in acutely ill patient due to trauma or non-traumatic cause, and it can predict outcomes, neurologic outcomes. Now, it was developed. Next slide. By Tisdale, Dr. Graham Tisdale. He's a professor in the University of Glasgow. He's a neurosurgeon and the head of the department. And usually there are only a few neurosurgeons. And usually these new Irish people, usually during weekends, they go into drinking binges and they meet a lot of accidents there in Glasgow. Head injuries due to car crashes. So they taught the nurses how to assess using the GCS system so that the surgeons will not have to go there outright to the emergency room or to the hospital. Okay? So because they are, no, they get tired getting calls 3 or 4 times a night just to assess patients. So they think about this scale so that they can better prognosticate whether the patient is deteriorating and will need surgical intervention or not. Okay, so that's the was developed. All right, next. So best eye response. Okay. Now, so if there is spontaneous movement of the eyes, you grade it as 4. If they can move their eyes to verbal command, or what we call decorticate posturing. That is the response to pain, flexion, or decorticate. That's +3. Okay, decerebrate, extension to pain, then that's +2. If there is no motor response at all, then that is +1. Okay? Not testable if they are amputated or there's because of the trauma. Okay, so not testable. So next slide. Oh, you just read this. So a better way to evaluate the one drawback of your GCS, Glasgow Coma Scale, is that there's no evaluation of respiration. So if the patient is intubated, then you cannot even assess verbal response. So 4 score was introduced. Okay. So again, there is evaluation. It is composed of four components this time. Eye response, motor response, brainstem reflexes will take the evaluation of your respiration, respiratory pattern, brainstem. Okay. So each component is maximal value of 4. Okay. So again, this is a first evaluation, just like your GCS, may be done in the emergency room. Okay, next slide. So these are the main assessment of your full outcome of unresponsiveness. Okay, so that's the mnemonic of the 4, meaning of the 4 score. So eye responses. Okay, eyelids open. Okay, there is tracking, blinking to command. Okay, so that's 4. Eyelids are open but no tracking. Oh, that means they cannot follow your fingers. Then that's E3. Eyelids are closed, but to loud voice it will open. Then that's E2. E1, eyelids are closed and open only to pain. And E0, even to pain, the eyes will not open. So motor response, okay. Usually, you ask them to do a thumbs up sign or a love you sign, okay, or a peace sign. Then that's motor 4. Next slide. Kasi yung motor natin. Okay. M3 is flexion, the corticate. M2 is decerebrate. Okay. M1 and no, yeah. M3 is localization. Okay, localize the pain. M2 is the corticate. M1 is decerebrate. Okay, M0 no movement at all. Okay. Next slide. Okay, this is evaluation of your brainstem. Okay, pupils are reacting equally. Okay, both sides. That's brainstem 4. If one side is dilated, that's brainstem 3. If B2 is pupils are isochoric, okay, but dilated or constricted, okay, with no reaction to light, okay. B1, there is no reaction to light, okay, and no oculocephalic reflexes. Okay. B0, no reaction at all. Okay, next. And respiration, normal is R4, regular sinusoidal respiration. 3 would be the waxing and waning respiration. Okay. Then Kussmaul respiration and agonal respiration. Okay, irregular, irregular. Okay, so waxing and waning is what we call Cheyne-Stokes respiration. R2 is irregular respiration. R1 is very slow respiration. Okay. And of course, 0 is agonal. decrease and slow. Okay, so that is your fourth score, which consider the brainstem functions. So even if your patient is intubated, it's better to use your fourth scoring scale. Okay, next slide. No, I can move it.
Last slide na po yun, Doc.
Last slide na ito.
Opo.
Okay. So now we went through the different possible causes of coma. So it could be traumatic brain injury, or it could be toxic metabolic problems. So again, coma may be produced, in summary, comatose patient may be due to bilateral hemispherical lesions or focal lesions that produces increased intracranial pressure pressing on your reticular activating system. Or it may be focal lesions affecting your brainstem, direct primary involvement of your reticular activating system, producing a profoundly comatose patient. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, so read on the ABCs of emergency treatment and management of comatose patient. Okay, so assessing your airway, your breathing, and your circulation. And of course, in any form of injury to your brain, okay, so minimize further injuring the patient by controlling oxygenation, temperature, okay, and of course,